This is talking, not stalking.
What up, BB Gang?
Beauty and Bo here once again.
And today we're bringing you guys yet another advice video, but this time it is about 15 ways to make your relationship work, last, keep the fire burning.
Long haul.
Right. You guys liked our last advice video, so we're going to keep them coming on our channel.
Bring you some more.
Right.
And if you got more ideas, leave them in the comments below.
Right. More video ideas you want to see. So, without further ado,
let's get right into this. Advice tip number 1. Go on date nights. They don't have to be expensive. It's going to take a little bit of money, obviously, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be very expensive. You don't have to be rich to go on dates with your significant other. You just have to be creative. Especially
if you've been in a relationship for a while, you develop a pattern with your significant other, and sometimes it can get boring. For us, it hasn't, because we're creative and goofy like that, but a pattern that you do every day can become boring, and you want to keep that fire alive. So be creative with date nights. Schedule them. It's something to look forward to, too, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right, so number 2 is to, every once in a while, binge watch a Netflix series or a series period. Me and him, we'd be obsessed with Netflix series.
It gives you some relative point where you guys both are.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. It's something to look forward to. We get mad at each other if one of us watch an episode without each other. It gets to that point. It's something fun to look forward to do together. It's a together thing.
And then it's something to talk about. Once you guys have both watched it together,
a lot of
y'all
people
went
ask
through
that.
it together. Y'all have stuff to talk about,
Yeah, a lot of people ask, why do you talk to somebody, blah, blah. It's you gotta find commonalities with each other. You gotta do stuff together, and therefore you'll have stuff to talk about.
Stuff in common that you can talk about. Point number 3, incorporate them into your passions. So that's basically how I got to start with
this YouTube channel. Yeah. Those of you guys who follow my YouTube channel, I initially started off my channel with having Josh do pop-up occasions, blah, blah. If you guys are really OGs and you saw our first ever video, the boyfriend tag, you can tell he's a completely different person in front of the camera now.
Yeah.
But incorporating them into your dreams and passions and stuff also help with making the relationship last, because you're investing yourself in them and your craft, as well as them investing themselves in your passions, if that makes sense.
And once you start investing in each other, then you have more reason to
stay together. Right. Yeah.
I incorporate my passions into
lifting. I went to go lift with him yesterday.
I tell her to come with me. I'm passionate about fitness, so I incorporate that into my lifestyle, and I incorporate her into my lifestyle, so we go get fit together.
Advice number 4 is to keep your own sense of identity, as well as allow them to have their own. So by that we mean a lot of couples tend to get very consumed in their relationship, so much so where they don't have their own individuality anymore. As crazy as it sounds, when you saying, oh, be an individual, be yourself, have things to yourself, that does benefit a relationship more so than harm it. I know some people are always like, oh, I gotta be around them all the time, I gotta do everything with them, but that's not the case. That doesn't necessarily help a relationship last at all, because eventually down the line, if you're so consumed in your relationship and that is your identity, then you're gonna end up resenting the relationship and potentially your significant other, because you didn't get to live your life the way you want it on your own individual route. Yeah, me and him created this YouTube channel together, so that's a us thing, but I still decided to still grind on my personal channel. That's my passion. Just like he likes to go into beats and fitness and stuff like that, that's his individual passion, so you don't ever want to lose yourself or make your significant other feel like it has to be you and them all the time.
Yeah, space is not always a bad thing, because most people feel like, oh, if we're getting spaced apart, then we're losing each other. No,
you're finding yourself.
You're finding yourself, and sometimes your significant other needs to find themselves.
It kind of keeps the excitement alive in a relationship too, because when you're working on your individual self and then you want to talk to your significant other about it, it's yeah, I'm doing this, I'm growing this, I'm developing as a person.
It brings creativity to the relationship. Individuality breeds more creativity.
And then when you collab those individualities, you get here.
If we're on the same page all the time, then how are we going to come up with new ideas?
Right. How are you going to grow as a couple?
Point number 5. Speak up when you have a problem with something. Okay? The worst thing that you can do for yourself
stay silent.
is stay silent. It's a snowball effect. So basically, you have a little problem, and you hold on to that little problem, then all of a sudden you just let it eat at you, and it constantly gets bigger and bigger, and then by the time you know it, little stuff starts to make you mad because you haven't solved the other stuff that made you upset before. So now it's like, ooh, she did that, and now she's doing this, and now she's doing this, and then it just builds on you and builds on you until you end up resenting the person. So really, you should solve the problem when it presents itself. Once it builds up, you end up having a huge fight. It's different to have like a bickering quarrel and then like you guys make up later, but if you have so many problems built up over time because you've never spoke on them, and then just out of nowhere you just let it all go, then it's gonna turn into a big problem. Those kind of arguments are what kill a relationship.
I was about to say, you're risking losing your relationship by letting little stuff build up. So if you have a problem, speak up about it in a respectful manner, obviously. Don't go all wild because people get defensive, but speak up about it. Your significant other is somebody that you're supposed to be able to talk to about anything, whether it bothers you or not, you know, so that's key. All right, so number 6, you guys, we both agreed that keeping inside jokes within your relationship helps to make it last. Cause it's like, I don't know, it goes back into
it's just something that you and that person share together.
It's like, think of when you have a friend, like a best friend or whatever, and you have inside jokes, and only you guys know what's going on. Strengthens the friendship.
Yeah, it
subconsciously strengthens the friendship, and that carries over into a relationship too. Like, we have plenty of inside jokes where we're just we laugh about it. Nobody knows why we're laughing or why we think it's funny, but it's because it takes you back to a memory. It takes you back to a really good fun memory. Right.
It's almost like you're trusting them with something. Like you guys have something in common.
A secret or something.
Yeah, it's a little secret in common. Advice number 7. Put your technology down and spend some face-to-face, not FaceTime, not Skype, face-to-face time with your significant other. Don't let technology interrupt anything. Put your phone on silent, put it to the side, and have a quality in-person, non-texting, non-over the phone conversation.
That helps strengthen a relationship so much, it's ridiculous. Granted, if they're a long-distance relationship or you guys can't be together every single day, texting, FaceTiming is understandable. That's the best you can get. But when you do have that chance to be in person with someone and spend genuine quality time with them,
don't let technology
get in the way of that. Number 8 is set the tone in your relationship, and this can be talked about on multiple different levels. You can talk about setting the tone on how you want the person to treat you. You can talk about setting the tone on like your grind. So an example, Josh really set the tone in our relationship in terms of education, academics wise, because he's always been like a straight A student, high GPA, and I mean, I've always been like an average student. I would say A's, B's, sometimes C's, and I wouldn't really like grade. Yeah, it was decent, but it wasn't my best that I could do. And when I got in a relationship with him, I feel like he kind of set that tone, like, take schools more serious without saying it. He didn't even say it. It was just like all nonverbal communication. And literally ever since me and him started dating, the semester after that, I've been on Dean's List since. So that's just an example, like, set the tone in the relationship of how you want to portray yourself and how you want you guys as a unit to come off. Because, I mean, we didn't look to be like a power couple, but because we're both, you know, successful academically and athletically and stuff, that's what it comes off as. And I feel like it feels good to be a power couple. It feels like good that.
To say you're a power couple.
Yeah, you guys are on the same grind. You want to be on the same grind with each other, because if you're not, that's how people end up outgrowing each other, and that's how relationships tend to fail.
And like your aura about how you want to be treated. Now, she was verbal about how she wanted to be treated. That's one, ladies, you have to be verbal about how you want to be treated. You want to be treated. If a man says something sideways out of you, you need to nip that in the butt. Set the tone about how he needs to address you, how you want to be treated as a lady.
That's why I was like, there's a lot of different ways what set the tone means.
There's different ways to go about setting the tone, but sometimes it's not always verbal. Just understand that. Setting the tone is not always verbal, although sometimes it has to be. Advice tip number 9. Show random appreciation. I think we said this in other videos too.
But we got to keep reiterating. You're going to hear this a lot because it's important.
It's deep.
It is important.
Random appreciation is so crucial because it lets them know, one, that you were thinking about them outside of their presence. Okay, so it lets you know that they're on your mind. It doesn't even have to be like a gift. You could write a note. He sent me a text. Yeah, he sent me I will never forget this. I was just telling Dom about it this past weekend. It was like a summer or so ago, and randomly Josh just sent me this text in the middle of the afternoon saying like, I really appreciate you for like sticking by my side and being there for me. I screenshotted that text. I still have it. Yeah. But something like that, like, guys, you guys don't know how influential that can be on a girl's like mental. Yeah, definitely. Just her peace of mind to know that her man appreciates all the efforts and stuff that she goes through for him. It'll give you that sense of importance in somebody else's life. So when you show your significant other random sense of appreciation, boom, in their head, they're now important.
Plus, it's still keeping the fire alive, because like we say, a lot of things that tend to lead to the downfall of relationships is like other people are offering something that your significant other isn't offering anymore. You know what I mean?
Gentlemen, if you're not giving your girl a gift every now and then, and some other dude just randomly throws her like some compliments or something else, flower, you know,
be like, dang,
my man doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Game, bro.
You gotta keep your game up. This is the fire. Keep it ignited.
You gotta keep it going.
10 is to express your feelings, both males and females. I think we touched on that in the last video too, but this is something you're gonna keep hearing, because communication is the absolute key to keeping a relationship.
Major key.
Okay, to make it last, you guys have to talk. And when we say express feelings, like he had talked about, like when something makes you mad, speak up about it, but it's also when something makes you happy. Tell your significant other how you're feeling. How will they know if you don't say anything?
It has to do with some self-searching in a way, because you have to be able to assess your own feelings and how you feel about situations. Because sometimes, like, as a guy, I know I get two emotions usually at the surface level. I'm either happy or mad. I never think about like I'm depressed or I'm sad or like I'm in a mood or in some other way, like I feel some type of way. I'm either happy or mad, and like there's more than just two emotions. Advice point number 11, build a hobby together. You know, find something that you and your significant other like to do together, whether it's binge watching Netflix or making a YouTube channel together,
bike riding, working out. Yeah,
we have a lot of hobbies together. I can start naming also. Okay, so we built multiple hobbies together. It's another thing that builds commonality between you two.
It strengthens the
relationship, because now y'all have something that y'all do together. It's another piece to the puzzle about why y'all work together.
And on the lowest of keys, if y'all ever break up or something like that, and they're doing this hobby, they're gonna think of you.
Yeah, think of
you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like getting in their mental. If that makes sense. It's not intentionally. That's not the end goal of finding a hobby together. But I'm just saying, like, that's kind of something that stems from building a hobby together, making memories together, creating inside jokes together. It's you leaving a lasting imprint on their mental
and on their hearts.
Yeah.
Let's think about their hearts.
All right, you guys. Number 12. Make sure the relationship is more than physical intimacy. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. I think that was pretty deep. Make sure the relationship is more than just physical intimacy.
Physical.
Oh my gosh.
Physical.
Physical you can get from anyone. Let's be real.
Understand this.
Okay.
If your relationship is strictly physical, that will fade. I'm telling you right now.
I give it a couple months.
It will get old. The same thing will get old. If you eat McDonald's every day, you're gonna get tired of McDonald's. If you do the same thing over and over, you're gonna get tired of it. And if your relationship is strictly physical, then the physical part is going to fade away, and then all you got is two people that don't really get along on a personality scale, and you start realizing that when the physical starts leaving. So you should really start building a relationship off the mental
first. It's exciting in the beginning, but that doesn't make a relationship last. Like we keep talking about the mental. Mental is extremely important. You guys have to talk, you guys have to communicate, create memories, have deep conversations. Allow them into your mental intimacy. Mental intimacy.
Yes. Mental intimacy is probably going to be more long lasting than physical intimacy. Point number 13. Learn all you can about your significant other. Now, let's get specific. This is talking, not stalking. Understand?
I like that.
Talking, not stalking. You will talk to them and find out about them by communication, in terms of asking questions. You know, having a good conversation. Having a good conversation will tell you a lot about a person because they're willing to talk about themselves. People are very comfortable talking about themselves because no one knows themselves better than themselves. So when you ask questions, they'll more than likely answer them about them. And that's how you get to know somebody. Once you've gotten to know like the ins and outs of your significant other, like I know what makes her cry, I know what makes her happy, I know what makes her sad. So now the relationship gets easier. It's like a deep
sense of understanding.
Yeah, if someone pours out their heart to you, you almost have something over them, which is crazy.
The power.
Yeah.
Power.
You're almost giving them power, which is a scary feeling at first, but if they're the right person, then like I'm okay with giving power to her. Like she has power over me, just as I have power over her. Like she has the ability to hurt me if she really wants to, which I trust and believe that she won't do. But when you get to know somebody, that's the kind of relationship that builds. It's like you're almost getting more and more comfortable the more that they know about you. But there's a difference between talking and stalking. Stalking, you go to their Facebook and you just kind of scroll through.
Try to figure out their life.
Facebook is almost like a background check nowadays. First of all, social media is a facade. Everybody that posts on social media is not posting
the very
worst themselves. People are posting the best of themselves because they want to seem better to people through the eyes of social media.
Point number 14, you guys, is to be selfless in your relationship. The only way a relationship will last is if both parties become selfless. And I will say he's a lot more selfless than me. As the relationship progresses, I'm getting a lot better at realizing not being selfish with my wants and stuff help benefit both of us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, being selfless, sometimes choosing them over you or letting them win an argument, even if it's hard.
It's hard.
You know, it helps build the relationship. It helps keep a lock on it.
Being selfless lets them know that you care. When it stops becoming an I thing and becoming a we thing, then the relationship becomes stronger because now it's like it's us against the world. It's not just me against the world or her against the world. It's us against the world now. Point number 15.
Final point.
Discover their love language. There are 5 love languages. There's words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, physical touch, and quality time.
Oh, good job, babe.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. So basically, people love in different ways. Some people like to be loved with just quality time, your presence alone. Other people like gifts. It doesn't have to be big gifts. People who love gifts don't even think that they have to be big or extravagant. They just like little gifts, whether it's a note, something like that. Words of affirmation, reinforcing how you feel or reinforcing their assurance that you care about them with words. Physical touch. Sometimes people like to be loved with a touch. Like if I hug you or I kiss you.
Or hold hands.
Hold hands.
That's a sign of love to you.
That's a sign of love to people.
And basically what he's getting at is the fact that people love differently. So the way I like to be loved is not necessarily the way he likes to be loved. That's what we kind of discovered as our relationship progressed, that we were kind of loving each other the wrong way.
Yeah, we loved each other the way that we
wanted to be loved, right? When really it's different.
Really, yeah, it really is different.
We really do suggest, if you are in a relationship, taking that quiz with your significant other. By the way, you guys, we're gonna leave the link in the description box of the website that we went to take this love language quiz. And it tells you at the end of the day, based off your answers, what love languages that you are. It helps. I mean, honestly helps, because you're like a big on quality time and something like that.
Physical touch.
And I learned that I didn't even know that I like receiving gifts.
Acts of service
and I didn't even think that I was like that. And when they say gifts, it doesn't necessarily mean like expensive stuff. That can just mean like his love notes and stuff. I like receiving those. So him knowing something like that is kind of important, because if he was loving me based off his love languages of always wanting quality time, I'm not really getting what I need out of the relationship.
And at first in our relationship, like it was like that. Like I would spend quality time with her and I would mess with her and I would like give her kisses and hugs and stuff. And I thought
that's him.
That was me showing love to her, and I thought that she would understand. But like that's not how she feels like love is being portrayed. She feels like those are just regular things that relationships happen. But it helps a lot to understand someone's love language.
Yeah.
If this helped you at all, go ahead and
share the video. They liked our last. That's the highest shared video. So keep sharing our advice videos,
keep sharing the video, like it, and you know social media's they always right there. Go ahead and comment what your favorite tip was, or you could go take the love language and go tell us in the comments what your love language is, because it's kind of interesting to know. Peace, love, hair grease, and we out.